Wendy and Mayor Allison.
Well, that's
1, 2, 3, 4. That's
oh,
4.
yeah.
Okay.
Not similar to Excel spreadsheet then. You should be.
I already tried.
Okay.
Okay, you're good.
Okay, thanks, Amanda. Ready? Susan?
Yes.
I'd like to call the regular city council meeting December 6, 2023 to order at 7:01. Would you please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag? Okay, come on. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'll do the roll call, please.
Mayor Allison,
Here.
Tom Baylor.
It says he can't.
Okay, I'll ask Megan. Absent for now. Kathy Sherman,
Here.
Casey Kinsman,
Here.
Wendy Rainey,
Here.
Ed Schaefer is absent. Kristen Carpenter. Here. Ken Jones is absent. That is a form though. Tom can't get on, I don't know why.
Thank you. Need the approval of the regular agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing no objections, disclosure of conflict of interest and ex parte communications. Hearing none. We'll move into communications by and petitions from visitors. We have no scheduled guest speaker tonight. Mr. Jacka, did you want to provide an update?
Or.
Okay, thank you, Dave. So we can go on to audience comments regarding agenda items. There's 3 minutes per speaker. And when you come up, please say your name and your residence address. And I see everyone rushing forward. Okay. Chairpersons and representatives of boards and commissions. Thank you, Dave. Dave Jank is here to do an RCAC report.
So Dave Janka, Cordova, represents the city of Cordova and the Regional Citizens Advisory Council. Had a few things go on in Anchorage last week. Just thought I'd let you know what was going on. The 19th year of them doing science night, and they bring in some folks to speak to topics of interest to RCAC or some of their contractors are doing some of their projects. And went real well. Great reception and people in for that. Scott Pagao talked about his forage fish work he's been doing, and then somebody talking about the Berry Arm landslide as well as other landslide issues, especially related to the recent terrible stuff in Wrangell. And then a new contractor for doing their long-term monitoring program updated, and then somebody with a new wildlife notebook and protocol for spill response. It was very nice, great reception. They always do a great bunch of good food. And they always tie that science night in with some sort of a workshop for the board. So we had that. It was mostly to rank projects that the volunteer committees have put together. They ranked them, and the five different committees, and then the board gets to rank those, and then the staff also gets to rank them, and then they crunch it through to see, who won the budget prize. Took a little while getting the head around. Okay, I've got 75 points. I'm only allowed to give a maximum of 5 to get, but anyway, it was. And then the second night, then they have they do an annual appreciation dinner and reception for board and staff, and past board and past staff, and just sort of a not quite a holiday party, but a year-end party. But so it was a little more fun than the work of budgets and regular board meetings. So a lot of old folks from the early years of staff and board. So that was very nice. It went well. The next main board meetings the end of January in Anchorage, which I'll be attending. I did pick up, I'll put them I'll put them here for you if you want. The newest updated, then and now updated for the 35th anniversary. One of my pictures of lingering oils in that one. And then also their newest 2022-2023 year review. So I brought some extra copies here for you.
Great,
Thank you. Any questions?
No, thank you so much for all your updates, so.
Oh, yeah, okay, you bet. Thank you.
Let's see, I see no school board or CCMC, student council. No report, so that takes us to approval of consent calendar,
Oh, we do have one thing. on
one
there.
item.
So on the consent calendar, Casey Kinsman,
Yes.
Tom Baylor, I think is still having trouble getting on. Ken Jones is absent, Kathy Sherman,
Yes,
Wendy Rainey,
Yes,
Kristen Carpenter,
yes.
and Ann Schaefer is absent, but the consent calendar is approved.
When we have no minutes to approve, we have no consideration of bids, proposals, or contracts. Reports of officers, Mayor Allison, do you have a report for us tonight?
Just Wendy and I are up here at AML, learning some things and, gonna bring back some ideas. So anyway, that's all I have.
All right, thank you. City manager's report, Sam.
Well, been busy doing budgets, my budget for PW crew, and then getting this packet together with lots of help from lots of people. We went over a couple things, or more than a couple, multiple things in the work session. I really don't have much to add to that right now. I guess the one question I would have for you guys, are you up for another meeting before the 20th meeting to listen to the investment brokers? They're willing to do the 20th. We've just been hitting it hard. Just want to make sure everybody's up for that. It's less, it'd be about, I think we're gonna do an hour, but so a quarter to.
We could probably do it 6 to 7, and I'll schedule the public hearing for 7, and then the regular meeting will just be right after the public hearing.
So just want to give you, just make sure everybody's up for that.
Council,
We've been doing that a lot.
I'd rather do that than have another.
But yeah, I wouldn't
Okay.
put another meeting on anyone else.
Okay,
Yeah,
so on the 20th, we'll schedule that.
okay, so just so everybody online knows, on the 20th, before that regular meeting, we'll have a report from the, and I've forgotten their names already.
Last
Alaska.
permanent management.
Capital
Capital
management, yeah, close enough. Okay, anything else, Sam?
No, just that Colin has a harbor report to give.
Colin, come up and give us some more of your acronyms. I know you do.
I'll spare you on this one. So this report is the good and the bad and the ugly. Evening. Glasses, you know. So, right now for schedule, we've got demolition, as you know, got finger floats getting pulled out, and we're about 90% complete with finger floats. We had barge arrive today with heavy equipment. Personnel arrived today from Jernigan Marine for site survey, utility locates, logistics. The additional barges and equipment will arrive from Whittier this week, weather dependent, because it's nasty. It's in Whittier, it's blowing pretty good, so they're not gonna bring the barge over. It's supposed to be today, they were gonna be here. Anyone's guess at this point when they'll be here. By the end of the week, they should be here. Full demo to begin as soon as possible. When they arrive with all that stuff, they can start pulling piles and pulling big floats, big pieces. The crews will work 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. No heavy equipment work at night, so there won't be any pile driving at night or around the clock or anything like that. But actually, kind of a nice thing. The downside of that, of course, is they can only work during the daytime. Those are very short days, and that just limits the work they can do. But they can do uplands work, all that stuff on Nicolot, they'll be able to accomplish, at dark, just, pushing dirt really. Design, our 100% design set is complete. We're waiting for the IFC, your acronym, issue for construction. That should be coming any day now. We just have some fine tuning on some little pieces of the design to get that full IFC Permitting, we're still good on all permitting pending the RIHA, which should come out on the 13th of December. But again, that's not holding us up. So, project funding, we still do not have a grant agreement from RAD, and I have no idea when they're gonna get it to us. It's just one of those things. We've done everything we can do, and we keep going back and forth, but the back and forth list is getting smaller, but it's not complete. So we can't draw any money on that until we get that grant agreement in place. I would say mid-January is when we'll probably start asking for reimbursements, which means we will get reimbursed by the end of January. So what does that mean overall? Well, we're still $3 million behind in invoicing. We should have half that, 1.5 paid this week. That'll get us to just being behind 1.5, but then there's gonna be another invoice for November that's gonna come out immediately, but that's gonna be far less, probably around $750,000. So those are getting smaller as we bought and built and all that stuff, for now. But again, we'll probably still be 2 million behind for quite a while until we get those reimbursements done. We've got most all of our other grants, have been closed out, meaning we tapped them completely. There's still a few others to the tune of about 3.5 million that we've got access to, but those are all gated. We have to spend money at certain milestones that are set by the state, before we can draw on that money. We gotta get to 10%, 50% as the key, things like that. So, and then another slug of money, $500,000 at the very end, once you're complete, so you won't see that until July, I would say. So, we spent every dollar we can. We've got every dollar back that we have asked for reimbursement, but again, we're just still chugging away on the money, and we're making it happen on the good graces of China, and that's really what it comes down to, that we're just asking, please, we've done everything we could. Had we, I think I said this in the last meeting, had we spaced it out to say we'll always have cash on hand, the problem would be we'd be behind because we wouldn't be ready to construct. So, we took a big leap, we knew it, and we assumed that by November, we would have had this grant agreement in place. We've been working on this grant agreement since last November. So here we find ourselves. So that's the bad, not ugly. We're gonna get it. It's just taking time. Overall, I think Tony's got 2 boats left in South Harbor. None. That are going into the yard. A couple stragglers are gonna be out of here as soon as we give them the full vacate, so, and they know that too, so there's no issues pending as far as we know, and don't anticipate any problems with that. Again, we haven't had to use any of the other facilities, and ball field or campground or any of that stuff. Tony was able to fit everything nicely into the shipyard and the North Phil, so that's a good thing. Southwest corner is still closed for demo and construction. The road closures that will happen on Nickoloff, that will be sort of evolving as the project goes along. So we don't have any updates on road closures or anything like that. None of the equipment that's going to be operating on the streets is over wire or over length or over weight or anything like that. As of right now, there's no anticipated major issues with getting stuff to the landfill. So they're going to be operating well within DOT standards. So that's a good thing. We don't have to have any permits or anything like that. In the next week, you should see big progress. So that's all I have on hardware. Any other questions?
Any questions online for Colin or Sam?
I'm still waiting for that acronym dictionary, Colin.
They change every day, Wendy. All right, hearing none. Thank you, Colin.
Sure.
Thanks, Sam.
Good one.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would add to that is we are looking into a line of credit to help that.
Yeah,
cash
you
flow.
said that earlier, yep. City clerk's report.
I've also been doing a lot of budget stuff, but at the same time, preparing for the March 5th, 24 election. But obviously not doing minutes because I'm about 5 cents behind. But I do have the first election announcement in here, which is basically just for people to how to register to vote. For anybody who is not registered, You just have to do so 30 days before the election. And then we'll put out the other ads as they, are required to be out. That's all I have to report.
Thank you, Susan. So for those listening online, Tuesday, March 5th, 2024 is the regular city election. So you can start to think about that and get registered to vote. Correspondence. We had, mail regarding the covered picnic area. A covered picnic area in the harbor. Mail and information from the Chamber of Commerce regarding the budget and Board of Fish. Mail from Manager Howard regarding the CPD budget for 2024. Email from Sandy King regarding the city budget, and 2 emails regarding the Old Harbor floats. Everybody's got them.
Yes, I have, and I just, several good things here, but the harbor floats, there's 2 correspondents here. I've probably received 5 correspondents or just different people in the community talking to me. Can we just get something definitive on is anyone able to pick these up from the landfill? I know they can't pick it up here. I know that's part of the contract with Kernighan Arm that they are going to take them to the landfill. If someone wants to take the risk on themselves of going to the harbor or going to the landfill, excuse me, picking up these old floats and doing something with them, I guess is it something that can happen? Looks like one of the correspondents said they were directed to come talk to council, so here's council. What legally can we do? Is there a hold harmless we can have available for them? Do we want strict criteria of, and this is maybe a planning, Kevin's in here, he's not gonna like that, show us what you're going to use these for, or are we just not opening this can of worm at all, and they're just gonna be in our landfill, and that's the end all?
They're just gonna be in our landfill,
Yeah.
and that's the end all.
Okay.
I think Sam spoke to this earlier, during some of the reports we heard earlier on, that was part of the agreement contract.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
But even going to the landfill, we don't allow people out there to mine the landfill. It's not a safe place, especially in the summer, and it's just, yes,
Yeah.
no, we don't want to start that kind of,
Precedent.
yes, thank you.
So, okay, that, hopefully everyone is listening, that gives me something to bring back to the community, that these floats are going to live in our landfill, and that's where they're going to stay.
Anything else? So I think we'll move on. Ordinances and resolutions, there are none. Unfinished business, we have none. New and miscellaneous business, we have council concurrence of mayor's appointments to fill vacancies on city boards and commissions, and I believe we have. Oh, off the page. Library board, planning commission, parks and rec commission, and harbor commission. And Mr. Mayor, would you like to make your recommendations?
Yeah, let me look at it here real quick. I remind myself who
Well,
all put, yeah, I appreciate all of the people who put in, and I think that, once again, we've got some qualified people out there, and I appreciate, put in, but for the library board, point Crystal Williams. Do we want to do them one by one or all of them together?
Let's do them one by one. How about that?
Yeah, so I would appoint Crystal Williams to the library board.
Okay, is council in concurrence with that appointment? Yes.
Yes.
Online?
Yes,
Okay. Thanks, Wendy. And there's still a vacant seat on the library board if anybody else wants to apply for that. Planning, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, for planning, I would appoint Sarah Trombley and Gail Fody.
Are there two?
There's three.
There's three places there.
There's 3 places there. Who was the other one?
Sean Denet, Donato, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, council in favor of those appointments?
Yes.
Move to concur.
Yes. So,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Thanks, Wendy. Parks Commission,
Parks and Rec, David Astro and Kara Rodriguez.
Move to concur.
Yeah.
yeah. Online,
Yes.
thank you. And then last but not least, Harbor Commission.
Harbor Commission, I would appoint Hein, Garrett, and Robert Beadle.
Councilman Carpenter, thank you.
Member Sherman, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Ryan Schutze, Hein Kruthoff, and Garrett Collins to the Harbor Commission.
I'll second that.
Okay, so Susan, do we vote on that motion?
You can discuss,
Okay,
or you can go to a vote.
Yeah, so we have a lot of really great candidates. I think, I know Ryan Schutze is one of them, and he's been a long time tender manager. I think he has one of the largest vessels in the harbor, and I think for somebody who is younger and expressing interest, I'd like to support that. And I don't know if he served on another commission in the past, but certainly he's a frequent and familiar harbor user. So I would like to support his interest.
Yes, with that, I have this from Susan that has Ryan, Hein, and Garrett on this one. Is that not the mayor's recommendation?
I think he may have changed it from the time I wrote that,
Okay,
but the one he made just now was what he said.
okay, perfect. I, yeah, would agree to have Ryan on there. I know he's put in his name at least one other time. I'll just speak to that. And I think he has some knowledge and that, I mean, he would be a benefit to that commission, I feel. So that's why I would second that.
I would comment on that, please.
sure, Councilman Baylor.
Yeah, I would take the opposite view. I would remind some of those on council that weren't around it. It wasn't Mr. Beadle. There was at one point council and the mayor were thinking about disbanding the Harbor Commission, and he kind of got it back on its feet. And this will be the second time in public meeting, once by the mayor and now by a council person, that it was expressed that they wanted somebody younger than him. So I wonder how that goes with the lawyers. But that's been said actually twice about him. We want to put somebody younger on there. But Robert's had a lot of experience with that harbor. He's been a longtime advocate for it, and I would support his nomination instead. Thank you.
Wendy, do you have some comments, thoughts?
I served with Ryan on Parks and Rec. My only concern is his schedule. He was unavailable quite often for meetings, but I could go either way as far as experience for either one of them. I also think very highly of Mr. Beadle. So my only concern with Ryan is just his ability to be able to make the meetings.
The roll call, or Ryan?
I didn't read this section of Robert's Rules of Order.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
So, motion on the floor is
Mhm.
Ryan, Hein, and Garrett.
Mhm.
Should we vote it? Yes, let's vote it.
Yes.
If everybody's finished,
Yes,
okay. On the motion on the floor for Ryan Schutze, Hein Kruthoff, and Garrett Collins. Kathy Sherman
yes,
and Schaefer is absent. Casey Kinsman,
Yes.
Kristen Carpenter,
Yes.
Tom Baylor,
No.
Wendy Rainey.
No.
Is Ken on at this point? Ken Jones, are you on there? Ken is absent, so the motion carries 3-2. So those are the appointments for Harbor.
Thank you for that, Susan. And then I would mention that the Historic Preservation Commission has vacant seats as well as the library. So volunteers are still needed. That brings us to pending agenda and our upcoming meetings.
We're gonna have 6 work sessions between now and the 20th.
Woo-hoo!
We are done.
We have fun holidays here at City Council.
So on the 13th, I will advertise the public hearing and regular meeting on the 20th, which is where we'll have the fee schedule and budget approval. We just discussed at the manager's report that we will have a 6 p.m. work session with, let's call them by an acronym, APCM. Who are the new investment firm for the city, and they're gonna come chat with council. And then after that, I don't know, beginning of January 3rd is our first meeting, so maybe on the 20th, we'll discuss if we need that or not. Because often when it's the week of Christmas that you'd be preparing that, it's kind of difficult, a lot of people are out. But let's get through the 20th first.
Audience participation, anyone like to speak?
Something in pending agenda.
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, Casey.
That's okay. I just, and maybe this is not the correct spot, but if does staff needs some direction on assessing their exempt employee salary range, I think is the correct way to, I think that's what came from the work session. This the time to talk or discuss that or direct this.
I don't know what exactly, did you want to put an agenda item on for something, or
We
would
already-
you, I mean,
Okay.
Title IV is already on the pending agenda, it's been on there forever.
oh, meaning do something with Title IV?
Well, I mean, I think,
I just see,
It falls under
you know, resolution or anything that we want to ask staff to do, is this not the spot in this area to ask? Or
Besides-
direct, yes or no?
Other than what we talked about in the work session, like we talked about
Okay,
those.
it's covered in the work session, that's why I wanna make sure that you're clear on what you were directed to do, I guess.
And it's not a bad idea to stay it here, because here is where it will be memorialized better than, so go ahead, why don't you say it?
We are moving out the edge, the high edge to 123 on the level with the police chief and the finance director. We are leaving finance alone, and we will, the finance budget alone, and we will advertise for our finance director and a comptroller at the same time. Or.
she left.
She's probably listening right now. And I think within that, we'll probably evaluate the entire schedule if we're gonna do everyone. It seems fair that we would do, because there's more than one level.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's great, I just wanna make sure that's happening, again, going back to, if we want something on the record, that we just had this process for all of those represented employees, and I feel it's appropriate to look at that for our non-represented employees as well. So if that's clear, sounds like it's clear.
Yeah, I was just gonna follow up, and I say, I think it would be a good reminder for all of city council, and I'll go do this again, is to read Title IV and see what all is in there, because really that's something that hasn't been taken care of in a very long time. Kristen,
Different topic, but looking at the future agenda items, number 5. I'm always looking for things can we weed out, and so revenues, financial planning, sales tax cap discussion.
I think we did that.
We did that. Can we
Get rid of her.
get one off the
But aren't
list?
we gonna talk about
Aren't we
other revenues?
You probably need to modify what it's.
Okay, yeah, but can't get erased, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Are we gonna do it anyway?
Yeah, but it's always,
Okay.
Are we're still working on Title V, that's not finished, correct, just as a question mark, no, okay. No,
maybe we can take sales tax half off there. And financial planning, really, because we have a
Yes.
new investment firm, so really just revenues. Keep on there. And maybe I'll add the couple of things that Sam reported on at the work session about what she's.
do we need to have our Title V ongoing conversation on here? When is the next time we're meeting? Are we in a position to meet with the lawyers next? Well, I guess, where are we at in that process? What,
I think that they didn't need to meet with council again, they need to meet with staff and then get their drafts more finalized. And we were hoping to do so within first quarter, so that any changes to sales tax were effective for second quarter. But anything that is going to affect, the economic development part of property tax, unfortunately, everything that's past January 1 has to wait till the next year. So that'll be in effect for 25.
Okay.
But so within first quarter, I will change the date on that, because it is here under upcoming number 7.
another point that came from the work session that probably needs to be brought up here on future agenda is looking at, the vehicle registration tax.
Okay, that'll be one of the things I put under revenue, right?
Okay.
So the vehicle, the air,
Property.
airline,
Yeah.
personal property,
Airline.
whatever. Landing tax
Mhm.
and something else. Head tax, we're gonna keep that.
We
being
kind of
talked
decided on
about.
that.
Motor vehicle tax registration.
Motor
Yeah.
vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay, we just added to the PA.
But we took away some too.
Yeah, we did, kind of.
We added more than we could, we said.
We
Kind of.
focused down, it's good.
There you go, we did.
But it is refined.
It's refined.
We've done our pending agenda. So now we'll go to audience participation. Doesn't look like we have any takers. So council comments, we'll go online first. Wendy, why don't you start us off?
I wasn't ready. Thank you to staff. That was a fast and furious work session. I appreciate the number magic that you're doing, and all the work that you put into it. Learning a lot up here, and hope I'm going to bring back tons of questions. Sorry, Susan.
We heard you were exuberantly learning, so. Tom Baylor, do you have any comments?
Yeah, I'd echo that. Thanks to staff. And apparently the Family Resource Center is looking to move out of their current location, which is a commercial building, and into a residential house, which kind of goes counterintuitive to what council and the city's trying to do, is provide more housing. And so I hope the planner gives that some, and the planning commission gives that some deep thought to taking another residential unit out of service for this community. And then leaving a vacant commercial spot. So I certainly would not endorse that. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. And Kenny's not on there. AC.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you to staff. Thank you for, I know I asked a lot of questions, so thank you for answering and reining me in at times. I appreciate that. But I'm not going to stop asking questions. So just, I guess, forewarning, if you will. But thank you for your time. Thank you for your efforts and energy, especially in this budget cycle. Thank you for everyone put their name in to be nominated for one of our vacant positions. There are still, what did we say, 1 on the library and all 3 on the historical preservation. So there's still more to be done, but thank you. Above that, thank you for everyone who is willing to sacrifice their time and sit on these commissions, so. With that, I think there was one correspondence I meant to speak to last week was Miss King. And just call attention to the work that the planning department, Kevin, has done in opening up more city property for sale and marked as available. We have done work on that. As far as I know, you make comment to other tracts of land that we just don't have control over, and so there's other ways and other avenues for you to voice those concerns. But as far as the city, we have made more land available, and I think that is a very positive thing. So, thank you.
Krista. Thank you. I would just echo the comments that have been made already. Thank you to staff and thanks to all the folks who have volunteered to fill boards and commissions seats. It's much appreciated. And I also just want to mention that tomorrow night at 5:30, there's a Cordova Community Foundation event here at the Cordova Center. Everyone is welcome. There's going to be lots of food, so please join us, 5:30. We want to celebrate our donors and announce some of the awards that we've made this year. So it's a donor appreciation and a grantee announcement event. So hope you can join us. Thank you.
I'm gonna go last, and I'm gonna thank Casey Kinsman for all his good questions, because you have asked a lot of questions and I've learned a lot from having you on council, so it's makes it kind of fun and challenging. And there will be council seats coming up available too, so people can think about that too, so. And I just got home today, but I drove through town tonight and it looks absolutely fabulous, and it beats any of the cities that I saw outside for just warmth and flowing holiday charm, so anyway. Does that do us? Good for me. I just need a motion.
You can do one.
Can I do it? Okay, we'll move to adjourn. Thanks for calling in, Tom.